Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final episode of Light and Darkness. I really enjoyed this visual novel. If I kind of messed up a little bit, went back for some of the earlier walkthroughs just to see, what would some of my outcomes be if I try a little different. Yeah, they're a little bit more different, but they will change drastically depending on all day, the final part.
あの子、何を言ってたの？何？文句あんの？
No, I just found it interesting. If we sought out government would have been quite incompetent if they could even take care of such a case.
私たちは条件に合わなかったのよ。
Not qualified. Wait, that sounds weird. Do only those where everyone else's their family is dead count or something? She impatiently sighed.
頭でちゃんと考えろ。まだわからないの？役所にいる奴らも、法律を決める奴らも、いつも人や秩序を守り、お金がないなら低所得の申請を出す。借金が返せない人は倒産を申し込む。いつもなんでそうしないんだ、こうしないんだとか。もしそんなのがあったら、あんたを拉致したりしないだろ。
Maybe.
もういい。私たちは生活というものをよく理解しているつもりよ。それに対してざまあ見ろ。あんたたちがそういう考え方を捨てない限り。
Finishing decoration, she shrugged and started laughing.
私には関係のないことだけどね。
Do you still keep in touch with your dad?
まさか今どこにいるかもわからない。
Abroad.
それはない。そんなにお金がないし、友達にもろくなもんがいない。多分どっかで隠れていて、アルバイトでもして日々を送っているでしょうよ。とっくに死んでいるかもしれない。
Oh. I didn't expect her to describe it so vividly, as though she saw it herself.
あいつが家を出た時は、私はもう7歳で。あいつは金を儲けることができるような玉じゃないが、自分もお金持ちになれると夢を見ていたんだ。最後は自分の家にさえ帰れなくなるなんて笑わせるな。
Perhaps it was the recollection that led to this satisfaction. In contrast, the little girl didn't seem to care as much. Perhaps even she didn't notice herself the sympathy and pity hidden deep under all of her complaints. So what now? Shocked by the rare occurrence of her talk to me, I raised my hand. She pondered a little and breathed out wide smoke. There was something warmth in her eyes.
もしあんたのような考えを持つ人がもっと大勢いたら、こんなことにならず。
Branded with the word poverty. They never got much recognition from society. If people didn't criticize others based on just financial status, perhaps they wouldn't have come to this. Is there some sort of compliment?
そう思って構わない。
She didn't answer her question directly as she nonchalantly turned her head towards the window. Got the money?
ない。
She gave a straight answer without a change in her cold expression. She put the phone back in her pocket and looked at the scenery outside the window. Then she spoke calmly.
どうでもいいさ。もう決めたから。
Made up your mind? Hearing the implication within these words, I tried to confirm with her. She grunted in response, keeping her gaze somewhere far away. On what? Stab me and call it a day. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. On what? Stab me and call it a day.
わかるんだ。
She flashed and nodded grin at me, to which I can only reply with a bitter smile. It wasn't that funny when you try to joke about that sort of thing. You're surrendering yourself? Or did you find somewhere to hide? I couldn't think of other options, yet she only shrugged nonchalantly.
その時になったらわかるさ。
It only makes me even more concerned. I didn't think she would end my life, yet her strange calmness made me nervous. If there was a backup plan, then she wouldn't have been panicking the day before. Why was there such a great change of attitude overnight? Like a tune without harmony, the dissonance slowly expanded my heart. I never believed in overnight enlightenment. Hearing someone say how they realized the truth of the world and gained a new life after joining some cult was more unbelievable than the plot of the bad sci-fi film. If a value held true for decades could be changed with a few words, then what was the point of living? Hey, something just didn't feel right. The more I thought about it, so I decided to figure out what she meant by making up her mind. What do you want? Seeing through my attempts, she
なん
laughed.
だ怖いのか
Shitless? I'd rather have some time to prep myself mentally, like saying a prayer or leaving my will.
信仰があるとは驚いたね。
Not really. But might as well be before my immediate
そ
death.
んなこと言ってたら十中八九地獄行きだろうね。
She changed her pose again against the wall, yet her gaze didn't let the phone while answering me. Her behavior only confused me even more, so I decided to change the topic. Where will you go if they get
どこでもいい。台湾は大きいんだから。
Still stay in Taiwan? I thought she was prepared to go abroad and hide there till it was all
出な
over.
ければどこへ行く
She asked with an eyebrow raised.
金持ちのやつらみたいに抜け穴に詳しいわけじゃない。海外口座やら資金洗浄やら比べ物にならないだろ。せいぜい強盗誘拐。金の引き換えに命を張るくらいしか。
Her words were filled with mockery and hatred. There was even a sense of self-abuse when someone as proud as her was saying, concerning all the development till now, plus her words, I finally put all the puzzles together. You are the scapegoat, aren't you? With the train of thought, many things started to make sense. Why did she get into the mess with her sister? Why does she know so much about me despite being a lousy kidnapper? The creditor gave her the information of the kidnapping and told her it was a chance to pay off all the debt, plus earn some extra cash to start a new life. To respond responsibility, they didn't provide any sort of assistance. Thus, why she had to enlist her sister. For the true culprit, there was nothing to lose. There would be tons of cash waiting for them if it worked out, and no trouble anyway if it failed. They had no choice but to gamble on this opportunity. They force you to.
自分が決めたことだ。
As though no one was about to say, she glared at me.
私のことを子供とでも。何も知らずにただ利用。ふざけるな。自分で決めたことに責任は取る。他人のせいにはしない。
I couldn't come up with a response to her words. She could have just pushed it all on other people, yet she chose to bear it all herself.
妹は何も知らない。ただ私の言うことを聞いているだけ。
Her expression darkened upon mentioning her sister, pressing her lips as though holding something in. She didn't have some exponential determination, letting her carry all this weight. She was just pushing herself. I didn't realize how similar we were. We hated to be seen as weak, and the idea of becoming the people we despise. We both hated this world, except she chose to resist the crime, and I chose to escape. I never saw someone this eager to be arrested. You are messed up.
歪まなければ生きていけないだろう。
I would have killed myself like my mom a long time ago. She snorted carelessly. There was no sadness in her voice, as though she was just recalling yesterday. Arming herself like a hedgehog, she refused to give up, despite the challenge. She made it this far with the dream of a better tomorrow. Even that could be granted, what else was left for her? I couldn't help but feel sad.
やっぱりそうきたか。
What? Paying no mind, she just lowered her head. There was no unusual, obvious aurora. In its place was some abnormal calm. She closed her eyes and sighed, then started dialing. Where are you going?
ほっとけ。なぜ金が入ってこない。
She cut right to the chase and kept going before getting a
も
full
うあ
response.
んたたちと話す気はない。
She twirled her hair in this bitter manner. This was totally different from her usual tone. I wasn't in a hurry, as though she didn't even care about the ransom anymore. Something changed. A sense of unease weighed heavily on my chest. I used to be able to somehow guess her thoughts. Yet I still couldn't figure out this crucial decision that she made.
もういい。時間稼ぎだってわからないとでも思ったか。あんたらはみんなそうだ。すべては自分の主張で、他人は全員バカだと。
I could hear sounds on the other side of the phone, but she ignored all those and
運
continued.
よく金を少し多く稼いだだけで、すべて思い通りになると思った。冗談はやめて。
Give me a break. There was a clear hatred in her voice. She coldly delivered
こ
the
うな
final
った
words.
ら絶対後悔させてやる。
She hung up the phone and threw it at the table. She took out the last cigarette from the box, and the smoker through the room.
何？今度は何が言いたいんだ？
Sensing my hesitation, she asked me, I was thinking how to word it this way that wouldn't trigger her. Seeing me not answering, she frowned and pushed me
話
away.
があるなら言いなさいよ。
Well, I'm in lesson. That's what humans are good at.
最初から警告していただろう。
Oh,
あんたがお
nice,
となしく
nice.
しないのがいけなかったんだから。
Nice. So did you give up or what? The heavy mood was disrupted by the conversation. I ignored that last bit of worry in my mind and found the courage to
そうよ。金のために子供もいらない人がいるとは思わなくってね。たとえあんたを殺しても。
Ha ha. There was a bit of smile on her face. I did hope for some moving miracle, but here was the reality. Without trust between the two parties, there could be no negotiation. Even if we pay the money, the kidnapper would still break the deal. There was no insurance for the family. It was the most logical and accurate course of action, yet it made my head ache like some bug bite. So, am I
あ
free
ん
to
たを
go?
逃がすと言ったか？勘違いするな。あんたにはちっとも同情していない。私たちと比べて、あんたはもう十分幸せよ。
She leaned over while raising her eyebrow. It was so close I could smell the tobacco. What's the point of keeping me here if there's no money involved? For the record, I can't cook or clean well. I'm a bad choice for a housekeeper.
さあな。
She raised the corner of her mouth as though enjoying toying with me. You are really falling for me, aren't
10
you?
年早いさ、お坊ちゃま。
Is this still necessary? The rope rubbing my wounds created a new wave of pain. I couldn't help but complain about it.
ちょっと出かけてくる。ここでじっと待ってろ。
Hey, when will you be back if you need to go out
我慢し
to go
ろ。
to the toilet?
ちょっと買い物をしてすぐ戻る。
Grab
当
what?
ててみろ。
I was by myself in the room and no one would hear me no matter how loud I yelled. My limbs were tied up so tight I couldn't even stand, let alone escape. I suddenly started to rain outside the bedroom and waiting for the passage of time and silence. Suddenly I realized how optimistic I'd become. I wasn't scared as much as I used to be, nor focused on escaping. Realizing this was coming to an end, I had given up the desire to gamble. If I were you, I might have done the same thing. I remember our conversation from last night. It was said with full honesty, after understanding her helplessness and anger. Even in the 21st century, we still live in a world no different from the past time, when our upbringing was distant at birth. Despite all the claims of freedom of choice and competition, we are still born different. Look at all those rich folks having a headache over a business problem. Are they truly happier? Those who fail blame it on the environment, while those who succeed credit themselves. Using those vague words to numb yourself, you can choose to ignore the unfair world around us. Normal people would just gripe about it briefly, how much hatred could someone who had been difficult and having a normal life harbor. Dying of depression, the hot breath turned to wet smoke in the freezing air. Wrong. Perhaps we all know about it too well, but we only choose to tell ourselves these lies since we couldn't change it. Just like now, I couldn't change anything even though I understood their pain. It's already night? Shit! I heard footsteps in the stairway and then the sound of the door opening. I grew speechless when I saw her. What's that? Supermarket sale? There were two gigantic plastic bags of stuff in her hand. It was like she'd gone for the big Fergal to a big spender in an instant. She took out of my bag a matter of facility and lifted the desk while whirling in a little.
どうせ私の金じゃないからね。
Yeah, we got ourselves a big spender here.
おとなしくしているわね。早くこうすればよかった。
She tilted her head apparently not to use to seeing me in disobedient. What else could I do? Crack my head against the
そう
wall?
していたら手間が省けて楽だけどね。
She dumped all the food on the desk as though she just robbed a convenience store clean. The other bags was all alcohol, all sorts of beer cans, wine on the desk, more than enough for two.
ほら、
She's letting pass me a
先
beer.
に付き合え。他
Me?
に誰がいるの？
What now? What now? In a good
いらな
mood?
いならいい。好きにしろ。
Sure thing. She grabbed the beer before her change of mind. Confused as I was, didn't plan to let go of what I could get. She opened the microwave spaghetti, which made the whole room smell like butter, and said more in this. And said more. And said it? Is it more fragrant? They're not fragrant. What's the best way to use that? Is it more aroused than anything I've ever smelled? Here, this is for you. Is this the Last Supper? Still another plan, I asked halfway joking. Last Supper, huh? She mother with her head tilted and a nonchalant smile. Maybe. That was a bad joke right there. But I really could care less then. Last one, there was food right in front of me. I took the food but had difficulty removing the ramp. Can you loosen the rope? No need to worry about me escaping. I don't plan to leave here before finishing my food. Even if you open the door, I put a red carpet there. She did loosen the ropes after leaving the thread. I still couldn't use my hands freely, but using the fork was no problem. I eagerly opened the box and dived into the food. The hot sauce spread within my mouth and warmed up both my stomach and heart. Finally, having a proper meal the 7 days, I was almost moved to tears. Oh God, I didn't know. Yeah, it's a little hard to shoot in Nikai, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun actually. Yeah, same here. I'm still stuck at the early stages because my Nikais, they're so weak. I didn't know microwave food could be this tasty. I responded absently mindedly, compared to me to wolfing down the food. She barely ate anything. She kept drinking the alcohol. It's easy to get drunk if you don't eat something. She clearly wanted to get herself drunk like that, worrying what might happen next. Try to remember her about it. It's pretty fun actually, Nikai is. Aye, man. I had no choice but to raise the can after hearing her threat. She was surprised and a quiet drinker, with one in her pocket and leaning against the wall like a silent statue. It wasn't really that enjoyable to drink the beer in this cold weather. Luckily, my body started to warm up and I could focus better. I kept myself cautious by eating food and drinking only low alcohol beer. Hey. What do you mean? What did you mean when you said it's too late yesterday? She turned her head away and sighed impatiently, with her index finger sliding the edge of the beer can. It's more strange to stay quiet when drinking together, like it's some funeral. Showing no interest in the subject, she had another large gulp. How about you come with the subject, anything you want? I still couldn't forget her decision, the sudden change of attitude, and the vague situation made me uncomfortable. It made more sense to let her say whatever she wanted than to ask her about it. After staying silent for a while, she quietly spoke. About starting a new life somewhere. No one knows you. She said quietly. There was no anger in her voice and Mr. Rain. Only powerless acceptance. Her face was red and I could see the difference in the of the alcohol in her eyes. The light in them seemed to reflect all my thoughts. How much do you even owe? She gradually breathed out the smoke, then shook her head.
もう覚えていない。どうせ一生かけても払えない額なんだ。
She picked up the can and waved to left and right. She seemed to be figuring out the words to use while listening to the sound inside the can. The weak light shined on her face. She looked even extra miserable from days of stress and fatigue. All these thoughts feed my mind. What does it even have to do with me if the world isn't fair? They should be punished for causing this mess. Even once I understood that this whole thing wasn't just her problem. I still have these thoughts every once in a while. Locking them up wouldn't solve the problem. Without changes to the social structure, there would always be crimes. Yet, so what? You all just focus on the problems before us and wish these people would disappear, rather than worrying about the faraway future. We care more about the present, where we reside. The alcohol spread within my mouth. It was so bitter to swallow.
私の一番怖いことはわかる？
I waited for her to complete her sentence.
ここから10年、数十年、死ぬまでこういう生活が続いていくのが一番怖いんだ。
Yikes. Damn, that's
毎
deep.
日働いても借金が返済できない。一生他人の代わりに金を稼ぎ続け
Damn,
て
deep.
それより賭けに出る方がもし死んだとしてもよっぽどマシだ。
I could have retorted. Whereas there's life, there's hope. Felt like some pointless miracle. Just reach for a bottle of wine. I could feel the strong alcoholic scent from her and her warm breath. Want to be drunk? Want to forget everything? Want to let it all go? I could tell these without even asking.
親父が逃げた後、誰かが毎日借金の取り立てに来て、私まで先に付き合わせて。まだ12歳の頃だぞ。母は毎日そういう人たちに向き合わされていた上、子供2人の面倒を見なければならない。
She covered the tragedy casually, as though it was someone else's
母が自
experience.
殺する前に何を言ったと思う？親父を恨む。私たちは恵まれていないだけって。
She started to laugh mockingly, then continued to mumble in trades. It wasn't that far off of a movie plot. There were tragedies around us, but they never came to our attention until we were affected.
どうしてこんなことになるのか、どこに問題があったか、どうして私はこういう目に遭うのかって、やがて人は平等じゃないと思い知った。私たちは価値がない方に生まれただけだと。もし本当に神様なんてクソったれがいたら、そいつは絶対死んだ方が人のためになる。金持ちどもが何をもって私をバカにできるんだ。
Wow.
何をもって頭を使うべきだと言うんだ。
She got more and more agitated, trying to let go of this injustice in her heart.
何様のつもりだ。所詮運が良かっただけじゃない。私と同じようにクソみたいな生活をしたら何もできやしない。
Wine bottles smashed into countless pieces on the floor. theft, the kidnap, the separation from her sibling, all these things finally got to the girl. Suspicion was all came like a collapsed dead. She painted heavily couldn't calm down her upheaving chest. All I could do was look at her quietly without saying a word. She took a step back and collapsed to the floor against the wall like a wrecking ball. It was the first time I saw her like this. Fragile, like a careful crafted glassware. There we go. She mumbled as though in a dream. Her voice gradually died down until it was non-audible. She didn't answer some strange, outrageous lineage or rich family. All she ever wanted was a normal environment, but she couldn't get it. The world isn't fair. Some were born in third world countries and never had a chance to receive an education. Some were born handicapped and couldn't operate like others. No one could change that or deny the fact. There is no difference. One could feel bad for the younger sister who knew nothing, but even she had no choice in the matter. Their father abandoned them. The mother committed suicide. The debts separated them from education, and they had nowhere to ask for help. I shouldn't accept her to have the courage to challenge her sister, let alone take care of all of this after going through a constantly threatened childhood. Age doesn't determine if one should take responsibility, if one possessed the perspective, power, and knowledge. We could scold her for making this mistake, but if she never had a choice in the matter, breathing out some white smoke, I sighed lightly. Many thoughts came to my mind and they mixed into words. Just surrender. Her body shook. She raised her head vacantly. Even if you pay off the debt, your dream would never come true. You were born in too many stigmas: gender, race, looks, family. They won't disappear just because you move somewhere else. Education, experience, relationship, work, and even in death, people will judge you. Though those glances, no matter what. Don't know how much of money you owe them. Know what they told you. But there must be a way. All you can do is accept who you are and move on. They should apply for bankruptcy if they're debtors, and ask for protection from the police. If they are threatened with violence, there must be a way. If someone who knows the law doesn't care about compensation could help them. Her eyes were red and asked me like a lost child. I stumbled. Apparently just said all these things without thinking. Why did I tell her this? Because you and I, we aren't that different. I'm just luckier than you. We never thought of ourselves as the bad guys from a children's story. We all want a happy life, like the prince and princess of the story. She's not a heartless criminal that takes pleasure from committing crimes. Anyone might make the same decision in that situation, especially when you don't have the choice. She didn't answer my question, but something was decided. You're so weird. She chuckled like traced the tears to dry. But there was warmth in that expression. Seeing that smile became more certain of it. Regardless of upbringing, race, and gender, we all have things we fear, worry about, and pursue. So what No. Seriously, what now? Suicide.
あんたに飲ま安心しろ。あんたを殺
With the passage on, the two of us felt silent. The wine glasses were empty, and the topics of conversation were exhausted. All that was left was the epilogue.
あんたの言った通り。
Oh boy. She stopped suddenly. Her hands were trembling, nor did she seem confused. She just observed me calmly. The ring echoed the room, along with the shallow breathing of the two of
怖
us.
くないのか。
Are you going to kill me? Hold on. Are you? Are you going to kill me? I stared right back into her gaze. In the darkness, her eyes shined like stars. In those eyes, I saw myself, exhausted but fearless.
本当に怖くないんだね。
Her expression relaxed and lowered the hand to the hand that held the knife. There was a note of frustration in her voice. I don't think you really do it.
そうか。誘拐犯もろくにやり遂げられないなんて。ますますで。
She got through the ropes around my legs, and after finally receiving freedom after all these days, I found the sensation extremely unfamiliar. I eagerly tried to move my legs, but they were bruised where the ropes used to be, as though they weren't part of my own body. I stood up while supporting myself against the wall. Finally, looking at her eye from level, I realized she wasn't exactly that tall. She still pointed the knife at me. The dim lamplight lit her exhausted yet determined face.
もし、あんたがもし本当に人々がそう違わないと思える、あんたの言った通り、運が悪かっただけの人たちに。
That choice of words, government, but not us.
あともう一つ。
She hesitated briefly before
あ
opening
ん
her
たの
mouth.
母親の浮気相手はクエンさんだ。あんたの資料を教えてくれたのはあの人。
Oh! Wait, are you
彼
saying...
女を酔うたびに家のことをクエンさんに泣きつきながら話しているらしい。言いたかったのはそれだけ。荷物を持ったらここから出ろ。
What about
あん
you?
たの知ったことじゃないだろう。
Like for killing yourself?
どうして？
Simple words yet effective. She stared at me downfall, not knowing how I saw through her secret plan. So that was her decision was. She didn't get the money, yet she chose to let me go. She also didn't try to run, knowing her past. All who gets the medicine this was for.
だからって何?
Recovered from the shock, she started laughing hysterically while twirling her hair.
うんざりだ。最初からやり直す。
Poverty was a bottomless pit you could never get out of. I'm afraid of seeing myself having the exact life the next few years, the next decades, or till death. She might make the decision after seeing the future.
同情なんていらん。本当に助かりたいなら黙ってす。
I wanted to save her, but didn't know how what to do. In this capitalist society where everything was decided by natural, properly, when how powerless I was. The world isn't fair. Statement. You can't make everyone equal, but there will always be a difference in our talents and capabilities and genes dedicated. Therefore, all the more reason for us to find a way to fix it. The world might be a machine, but we are more than just in screws. We can change it how it operates. If the machine is broken, we should try to fix it.
もういい。せめて自分の死に方を決めさ。
Her smile was tired, terrible. I tried to retort, but the words stuck to my throat. If someone had nothing left but the choice of death, what right did we have to stop her?
もしさっきの話が本気だったら
I'll prove to you that all this can be changed. So would you believe in me? No answer. To my disappointment, had forced her to grow beyond a child believing blindly in fairy tales. Oh boy. My decision wouldn't help her at all. The debt was still there, and so was the legal prosecution. She still had to face them all, and all I could offer was a promise.
これイーリンのことをお願い。
She told me more quietly, "Hey, don't dump your troubles on
う
me."
るさい。早く。
Realizing staying here wouldn't change anything, I picked up my backpack. The weight of it felt a little surreal. Will we ever meet again? I asked her before I left.
もう会わない。
The deep breath of push opened the door and walked into the rain without looking back. The storm loosened my clothes soaking wet. My body began to tremble with the cold, making it even harder to stand up straight. The rain blurred my vision. I couldn't tell where I was even heading, so I moved forward slowly, step at a time. Damn it! In the haze, I tripped on exposed fruit. I fell and brushed up alongside the branch which cut right through my skin. I could help but scream out in pain. With my strength faded, I collapsed to the floor and tried to stabilize my breathing. I turned over and looked up into the dark sky. The cold touch of the raindrops in my face brought me to a state of clarity. Is this really the only outcome possible? I couldn't get the look at her face out of my mind. I wanted to stop her from going through it. I wanted to tell her there was another way through this, but I knew that it wasn't the truth. I'm afraid of seeing myself having the exact life for the next few years, or next decades, or till death. She feared the future. And thus, death becomes the easy escape. Oh, shit. I have no right to interfere with a choice. Damn. Alright, shit. Even with a sense of powerlessness, there are things I need to do. Let that aside, so I got back on my speed, and despite the shaking of my legs. What a troublesome promise to make. I grasped tightly the paper she handed me and started walking. What the hell just happened? Oh wait, is that the end? That is like an abrupt end, but that's the end. Okay. That's like an abrupt end, but interesting. And all the Kickstarter supporters, there you go. I say this is interesting. I say this is interesting. An interesting visual novel that's on PS4, Switch, and PC. A nice little Kickstarter visual novel. I like that. I like it. Yeah, it's a short game, small game, made by a small team, and I think they did a good job with this one. And I like the music by the composer, so I think the composer did a good job. The late night street was almost empty. There wasn't even a food stand due to the termination construction project. There were only a few passengers who pulled their collars and were eager to get home. It's been 4 years already, huh? It was also this cold that day. I was sent to the hospital after escaping. The case was closed right after the police took my... There was no evidence of the involvement of Mr. Ken, so it was treated as a regular abduction incident, and that was the end of the investigation. Perhaps this is what she wanted. I was impressed by a predictable result, yet only comforted myself with the thought that the number she left me got in contact with Miss Wang, and they eventually met her quiet sister and managed to piece the story together from Miss Wang due to the failed investment. The father accumulated enormous amounts of debt and abandoned the family. The mother had to shoulder her family since then, but between the debt collection and attempts on working, eventually she broke down and ended her life. Without the family a place to live, the sisters were eventually helped by their mother's co-worker, Miss Wang. I told her many times that they could at least manage at my place, but she wouldn't listen. Hearing her words, she couldn't reply. Seeing the wrinkles in her face and the paint marks on the wall, I could guess the way she made that decision.
ごめん。塾で帰りが遅くなった。
Oh, it's her! Oh, the little sister who's now grown up. I was back to my sense when I saw a girl wearing a coat walking towards me. Her voice still sounded like a little childlike, but the sister had grown up for sure. Knowing the death of her big sister, she chose to seclude herself from the rest of the world. She didn't cry nor speak, but only sat in her room quietly. I could only take her big sister's place, so I could... Hold on, give me a second. Okay, as I was saying, I couldn't really take her to the place, so all I could do was accompany her till she sorted all out herself. Eventually, she opened her mouth, but grew much quieter than before, and was even more afraid of socializing. Perhaps in an attempt to follow sister, she grew her hair out as well, which was spreading in the wind, which is now spreading in the wind. No problem. How's life?
この後のテストに備えてる。
With the help of the social welfare department, she returned to school and used her off time to make some money with handcrafts. She was behind others of the same age, but she was catching up to society.
あなたは
Busy as always. If only there was a 48 hours in the day. My life had grown busy, but busy thanks to the prompts I made. I took course in social welfare and participated in volunteer work. I started to witness the darkest corners of the society and the difficulties behind changing them. I even asked myself if I could really change anything. Thankfully, I always managed to keep moving forward after meeting her. Nothing was changed. Didn't think so. At least I could support her to move and change her life. The world might be unfair, all these dark corners. I could feel powerless against it. We can't even hand to others when we occupy with our own lives. However, if we face the problem, there must be something we can do. Let's go home. Putting the scarf on the girl, I spoke to her softly. The moon was high in the sky, guarding her safe return. It might be worried, it might be dim, yet it guided people's directions all the same. That's right. Like a light in the dark. Ending 0. A light in the dark. Oh! Now my screen has completely changed. It was 2 of them, now there's 1. %64%. Ooh. Well, that was interesting. Got ending 0. So I would like to say, for the route that I got, the ending I got, there are more routes. One of them, you can die early on in the game if you kind of screw up. Another one is that you can escape, depending on how you do it. If you do it correctly, you could get out day 3 or day 4, or even day 5 if you wanted to. You could die at the end where you think you might escape, but then die right then and there. The other times is that you can actually kill one of the 2 if you do it right correctly in one of the routes. If you try to escape, if you observe a lot, you can find glass to use as a weapon to escape. You could accidentally kill the girl, either one, the little one, as you escape. You can kill the big sister and the little girl will hate you, vice versa. So now I know what you're saying. Can you save the big sis? You actually can, actually. If you do everything correctly, you can save the big sister and everything can have a happy ending. But I got ending 0. I think this is more like close to, like, you kind of say ending 0 is kind of like your almost true neutral ending. There's the bad ending, there's the worst ending, there's a good ending. So, if you want to get the true ending, you gotta go through the routes again. Luckily, you can speed it up and get going. So, I would like to say, am I gonna play all the routes? I'd like to say maybe on my own time. But what we did for the stream, I'll give this game a solid 8. I like the things of that of you being kidnapped, but you also gotta deal with your kidnappers, learn about them. You can manipulate them at the cost of you getting hurt, not having enough stamina to get through. So you have to really observe your actions correctly. You only have 3 actions per day per the events that take out, so you have to use them correctly. Use them correctly, you could escape like I did. You could not escape and die. You could escape early on, but at the consequence of losing one sister or the other. Or most importantly, you could still live, but both of them get to live. So I think this is an interesting visual novel. So for a small Kickstarter project, I say bravo. I say bravo. So I say bravo. I say bravo to the team. Bravo. I actually like how they actually look. They look really good. For at least the 64% that I've collected so far. Really good, actually. I kind of like this, so probably want to get them more. I'll probably see the rest, but dang, it's a pretty good novel. Short, to the point, and I like novels like this. Wish I'd get more novels like this. There's a novel that I did Kickstarter, like, oh god, a while back ago. It's still in development, but if you want to get on Steam, it's on Steam. Won't say the name, but if you do find it, it's pretty good. I just haven't seen that many updates lately, but it's on early access on Steam. The one that I'm talking about. This, if you want to get it, it's on Steam, PC, and it's on Steam, PlayStation 4 and 5, and the Switch. So I say go for it. A rating, I'll give it a solid 8. I really like this stuff. Might go back and play it again sometime. So anyway, thank you guys so much for enjoying. See you guys next time. I'm still too busy playing Jedi Survivor. I think I'm at least halfway through the game by now. So that's a pretty good thing for me. Then I'll probably figure something else from there. Maybe 16. But we'll see how that goes. If Hogwarts Legacy does get expansion, I'll do that as well. So, but until then, see you guys later.